start your engines, get ready for the fastest 10 minutes in comics. Welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher.
So let's jump right into it.
We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is good, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and welcome back to another Hot 10 Breakdown of the Week. If you guys aren't familiar with what I do in this video, I take the 10 hottest comics according to the Key Collector app, and I break them down for you guys one by one, telling you out there in the community if I'm buying these comics at these prices or staying the hell away or selling if I own them in my collection. But before every video, like I do, I tell you, if you're not a current subscriber of the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and click that subscribe button for me. Once we hit 4,000, I'm giving a massive statue away. Check it out. I told you guys from here on out, I'm going to be giving something out of my personal collection away every 1,000 subscribers from here on out. And we're just about almost at 4,000. I think we're about 600 and change away. Guess what, guys? This is the 4,000 sub giveaway. It is this awesome 1/10 scale Thanos diorama from Infinity War. I want to tell you, this thing is freaking awesome. It is nearly perfect for a Thanos statue. So do me a favor, go ahead, click that subscribe button for me, smash that like button, and let's give this sucker away as soon as possible. With that said, I want you to smash that like button as well. If we get to 200 likes by Sunday close, I'm going to give something away out of my personal collection. With that said, sit back, relax, and let's get into this week's breakdown. At number 10 on this week's list is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 57 and the first meeting between Kazar and Spider-Man. There is huge spec out there right now that the Savage Land will be introduced once they introduce the X-Men in a CGC 9.2. Just sold last week for $375, up 13% over the average. But not only that, there was a CGC 8.0 sale for $142 as well, up a whopping 1% over that average. You guys know I collect all things Silver Age Amazing Spider-Man. You guys know I want to own this book. However, I will say this, you don't have to go out there and buy a super high grade. Just get this book in the collection, pay a lower grade. You can get a 3.0, 4.0, nice looking copy for under $100. I definitely think it's worth it. I 100% am a buyer of this one just to have in the collection. This is not an investment book by any means. At the 9th spot on this week's list is a copy of NYX number 3 and the first appearance of X-23, Laura Kinney. You never know, is she going to show up in Secret Wars? Is she going to be another Wolverine for the multiverse? I don't think it's going to happen. Regardless, a CGC 8.0 just sold last week for $450, up 7% over the average. You guys know I'm not a modern book collector, but when it comes to this book, I know a lot of people out there who do want to own it. I will say, I would own this book in a 9.8 only. You guys know that. All modern books are 9.8 or bust for the most part. Sometimes you get a 9.6 here and there, but other than that, I don't think 8.0 is good enough in this one. You want to own this book, get it in a 9.8. I just don't want to own it. It's not my type of book that I collect. At number 8 on this week's list is a copy of Batman number 608, the second print variant cover by the great Jim Lee. But not only that, this is the beginning of the incredible Hush storyline in a CGC 9.8. Just sold the prior week for $635, up 2% over the average. You guys know I love Jim Lee. I don't talk about him enough on this channel because I don't do a lot of DC stuff, but I do love DC. I love Batman. I'm just not a variant collector. I think if you are a variant collector, you should probably want to own this book in a 9.8. For me, I don't want to do it. I don't spend that kind of money on modern books, on variant books, but if you're the type of person to do that, be my guest. This one you may want to pick up. At number 7 on this week's list is a book you guys know I love. It is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 129 and the first appearance of Frank Castle and the Punisher. But not only that, guys, a CGC 5.5 Mark Jewelers variant just sold for $2,200, up 203% since 2019. Man, that is crazy. I am not a Mark Jewelers variant buyer. I don't buy and collect Mark Jewelers variants. I know they're super scarce. To have it in an Amazing Spider-Man 129, I think is absolutely phenomenal. To me, I want to own this book because I love Frank Castle. I love the Punisher. I love that it's an Amazing Spider-Man key. And I love that this cover by Gil Kane and John Romita is absolutely phenomenal. That's why I want to own this book. It's one of 4 Bronze Age books I think everybody should own. This one, Giant Size X-Men 1, Marvel Spotlight 5, and of course, Incredible Hulk number 181. This one is definitely a buy for me no matter what. At the 6th spot on this week's list is a copy of Ghost Rider number 1 and the first appearance of Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider in his own solo title. But not only that, this is the first appearance of Damian Hellstrom in this book, and a CGC 9.2 just sold the prior week for $1,800, up 9% over the average. But also there was a 9.0 CGC sale for $1,500, up 13% over that average. This book has been all over the list for the better part of 2 years. I always say if you got to go out and buy a Ghost Rider book, it should be Marvel Spotlight number 5. But after that, this is the book I'm going to. We don't need to go out and buy a super high grade, even though it is a Bronze Age key. The higher the better. I still want to own this book from anywhere from a 4 to a 7.0. I think it's always a buy right now until Ghost Rider shows up in the MCU. Coming in at number 5 in this week's list is a copy of Hulk number 1 and the first cover appearance of the Red Hulk. And we all know why this book is hot all of a sudden. Harrison Ford will be taking over for William Hurt as the new General Thunderbolt Ross. And of course, with the Thunderbolt announcement, we know he's going to turn into the Red Hulk at some point. And a CGC 9.8 just sold last week for $370, up 14% over that rolling average. Now, we talk about this book. We talk about another modern key. You guys know if I'm going to own it, it's got to be in a 9.8. I don't collect the modern books, so I'm not going to do it. But I got to be honest, if you are a modern book collector, I would be going after this one right now. Probably a book I'm going to hold for the long term. I'm not really looking to jump on this book and then sell it once we hear about the Thunderbolts. It's already been announced. Everybody knows he's coming. If you want to hold this book for the next 20 to 30 years and may get a nice, significant increase in value, other than that, I would say stay the hell away from it. You're not getting any bang for your buck once this movie comes out. At the 4th spot is a book that hasn't been on the list at least since I've been doing the breakdown over the past couple of years. It is a copy of Sentry number 1 and the first appearance of the Sentry. And there's rumors out there right now that he may be the antagonist in the upcoming Thunderbolts movie. And a CGC 9.8 just sold last week for $400, up 7% over that average. For me, even though this is a 9.8 book for $400, I'm not throwing around that kind of money for this character. I'm not interested in the character, so why am I going to throw $400 at it? And that's the way I look at it when I'm a collector, guys. If you're out there and you don't know who the Sentry is, you don't follow the character, why are you forking up $400 for a 9.8 copy of this book? Just for Spec, he's not a big enough character to spec on this book. That's just my opinion. This is a no-go for me. At the 3 spot on this list is a copy of Avengers number 144 and the first appearance of Patsy Walker as Hellcat. That's right, and a CGC 9.6 just sold last week for $500, up 12% over the average. Now again, another book like just go along the lines what I just said. I'm not a huge fan of Patsy Walker or Hellcat, so why am I spending $500 on a copy of this book? Doesn't make any sense. Hey, if you love Hellcat and you love Patsy Walker and you want to fork over the cash, be my guest. I can't do it. I don't think anybody should be throwing that kind of money at this character. But hey, it's just what I'm saying. It's just the way I collect. You guys do what you want. At the 2 spot on this list is a book that's on the list for the better part of 4 weeks. It is a copy of Omega Men number 3 and the first appearance of Lobo. Started at $350, went to $370, went to $380 something, and now let's see where it's at. A CGC 9.8. Just sold last week for $395, up 24% over the average. You guys heard me say it at $350. I was a buyer. I said at $370. I said, you know what? I'm still okay if you just don't go over to that. $385. I said no, and now up to $395. I'm saying hell no. It's way too much money to spend on this book. I love Lobo, love the book. Only want it in a 9.8. I'll throw that out there. You guys know I've said that before. But I think $400 for this book at a 9.8 when there are so many copies out there is just too much money. If someone wants to take less, like $350, $370, go ahead and pull the trigger. Other than that, I'm staying away. And rounding out the top spot on this list is a copy of Star Trek number 1 and of course the iconic comic that was adapted from the original Star Trek TV series. And a CGC 7.5 just sold last week for $1,425, up 62% since 2021. Not only that, there was a CGC 7.0 sale for $1,325, up 99% since 2021. In my opinion, if you're a big Star Trek fan, this is a must-own book in any grade. You have to have it in your collection. If you're not, I say stay the hell away from it. I'm not sure why all of a sudden it's going up. There are rumors out there they're going to do another film from the J.J. Abrams films that were done a couple of years back. Who knows if this is going to happen? They're trying to get the cast back together to see if they can do it. But if it doesn't happen, this book is going to drop right back down. If it does, maybe it drops back down anyway. But if you're a Star Trek fan, go ahead and buy it. If not, stay the hell away. That's it for this week's list, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Some new books, some old books. Regardless, buy what you like. It is now time for my best buy of the week, and you guys, I'm sure, are guessing which one it is. It is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 129 and the first appearance of Frank Castle and the Punisher. And it doesn't have to be a Mark Ruler's insert. It is one of the 4 books from Marvel that I want to own from the Bronze Age. Hey, there are some DC books I want to own as well, but this is one of the top 4 that I'd pick. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.